Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
It's March Mania at Sports Interaction. NHL, NBA, March Madness, MLB, and so much more. It's bananas. Play Pinata Picks and Minute Madness, exclusive games with insane odds you can't play anywhere else. Make your next bet with Sports Interaction. Download the app in Ontario, use the QR code you see at the bottom of the screen, or head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN to get started. 19 plus, please play responsibly. Welcome back, Cabby's back. Welcome. There you go. That's a little mace. Drops a little mace for you guys here on a Saturday night where the Leafs win in the most exciting moment in professional sports, the shootout. Maybe not, but Alexander Kerfoot, first liner. Alexander Kerfoot. Remember to say the name correctly. My name is Fouad Suleiman. Next to me, somewhere on the screen, is Armaan. Say hi to the people, Armaan.
Hello,
and we also have the one and only Cabby Richards.
Good evening. What's up, everybody? Yeah.
There we go. So it was a tough game to start. A little bit of a lethargic effort by the Leafs, but they still get it done on the second half of a back-to-back where they were outshot like 6,200 to 5.
Yeah,
it was
these guys
absolute
getting shelled.
Absolutely shelled. Now, I know that Armaan was saying before we started we were talking about Matt Murray. Was that the 6th game in a row that he's allowed 4 goals or more? And I didn't even feel like he was bad in this game.
It wasn't his fault, that's for sure. He's the only reason we won that game. Like, we were getting pumped. Yeah. I mean,
but Toronto was leading for most of it. Scored first.
Good portion
then
of
go
it.
Up 2-1, 3-2, 4-3. The guys were lucky that the DeBrincat goal. I mean, yeah. But anyway, but Kachuk scored anyway to send it to overtime. So the DeBrincat goal was moot. Didn't matter.
It was moot. Yeah. I was like, I saw the challenge happening, and and I was talking to producer Robert, and I was like, we were trying to decide who, if it was going to be, and I saw that the challenge ended really early. I'm like, oh, I guess it's a goal. And Robert's like, no. Sheldon Keefe does not call challenges unless Sheldon Keefe is correct. And lo and behold, no goal. Sheldon Keefe just has this that little Robert De Niro, okay, yeah, well, he had that smirk that just said yeah, I know I'm right.
I mean, he was it was quite a bit offside. I'm not surprised it didn't take a long time for them to review that one.
But I gotta say, and Cabby, you probably agree with me on this one, is that obviously Ottawa is the hungrier team. They're fighting for their playoff lives. At the trade deadline said that, they have some wind in their sails. They're like, no, we're going for the playoffs. And my goodness, the Atlantic Division is never gonna not be an absolute war, is it?
Man, I wonder if in the general managers, are they happening now or did they happen last week? But I wonder if the competition committee's hey, we got to review the playoff format because so many people are complaining about it. We're likely going to get Toronto and Tampa again, be New Jersey and New York on the other side. Edmonton might be Edmonton, Dallas in the first round like last year. And then, or maybe it's Edmonton, maybe it's Dallas, Seattle, but more specifically for this market, to play Tampa Bay again in the first round, we need to go back to 1-8. 1 versus 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5, etc. Just to mix it up. Because that's, in the NFL, every year or so, there's a big rule change. I mean, they obviously want to protect the quarterback and they do everything so the quarterback doesn't get touched. If you breathe on Aaron Rodgers' neck, there's a flag thrown. They want the game to be as offensive as possible. And hockey needs to change the playoff seating. I think it was either. Was it Sid that said that he hated it or disliked it during the All-Star weekend in February? There was
Sidney Crosby. Yeah,
it was Sid. Yeah. So I mean, listen to one of the goats, man.
Yeah. Well, Gary Bettman has assured us that we all love it and it's not going to change. He actually came out on a press conference that it's working very well and we love it. Sid Sixero was on our show and he made a point that. He actually made a point that I didn't even think about, that they kind of do it purposely to stack the first rounds because
that is the point.
People will watch the first rounds of the NHL more than they'll watch maybe the NBA first round because once it gets down to the final fours, more people will probably gravitate towards the NBA than the NHL.
Yeah,
That's
it's creating competitive rounds.
It's a good point. I was like,
first round. It
So
makes sense from an entertainment perspective, but it just sucks competition wise because you have a contender out in the first round, and the East is such a absolute like full of contenders that we're gonna be losing 2 cup contenders by round 2, and it sucks.
Yeah,
but yeah,
this is the breaks.
I think everyone in Toronto wants it to be a 1-8, but
Yes,
kind of sick of playing Boston and
Tampa. How many times has Toronto, and I haven't looked at this, but how many times has Toronto played the eventual cup winner in the first round? Yeah, there was like honestly. A Washington year, a Tampa year. I know Boston won in 11. Did we play? No, we were. It was 13.
No. It's teams that went to the finals, I think, because in 13,
Montreal also went to the finals.
Yes. And then Boston beat them, and then in 2013 and 2019,
Boston and then went to the finals as well.
21 Tampa, or sorry, 21 was Montreal rather. 22 Tampa Bay went to the finals. So yeah, it's
okay.
It happens quite a bit, more often than I'd like, but
basically, as Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So the Leafs every year are the man that get beat. So if that's any consolation, right? So I just made that up. I'm like, great, okay. So Matt Murray, we talked about him. What did you guys think of him? And do you think, Cabby, that they're gonna go? Do you think that there's a chance they go with Matt Murray game 1 of the playoffs, just based on pedigree alone? Because I feel like that's how hockey coaches think.
Too early to tell. I think you gotta see how, like, their last 5 or 6 starts, like maybe you gotta ride the hot goaltender into the playoffs. So whomever is playing better, that's my unprofessional opinion. Sheldon Keefe's gonna do whatever because he's there for every game and he sees how the players play in practice, and he has way more information than I have. So that's my my unprofessional opinion. Ride whoever the hot goaltender is leading into the playoffs. Right now, the person who has a decision to make is Todd McClellan, because the LA Kings, they have 2 goalies of save percentages over 900. They have Carpasalo and Phoenix Copley, who are just like, I think LA's unbeaten in 8. There's a decision to be made, like who to go with riding into the playoffs. That's a tougher call. What do you guys think? Matt Murray, Samsonov? Where are you guys at?
I'm going Samsonov. I think Samsonov's deserved it over this season. And, I'm not saying Matt Murray's a bad choice. It's actually kind of nice that we're having this conversation. And
it's a great problem to have compared to last season.
But yeah, Murray's been, a little inconsistent, and then there's the injury trouble. I just think Samsonov has absolutely been stellar this season. And, I think he deserves it. I think he's played into it. And so I'm going Samsonov as the starter. And I said this after last game over as well, because he was fantastic in that game as well. But honestly, today, Murray kept us in it, especially in that first period. The fluky goal aside, which is one of the
hilarious
flukiest goals I've ever seen.
The glitch in the Matrix, that goal.
Like,
it's just
literally just popped 20 feet in the air. It reminded me of that goal. I forgot who the goalie was, but where the puck lands in his pants and then he moves back. I forgot who it was. Mason? Was it Mason? It was an Arizona goal.
Steve Mason?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Or
but
the Patrick Waugh where he caught it puck and he raised it up like, and it just went into the net.
He was
there's been a
classic.
Even a wacky goal happened with the Senators last week where they should have called or was it this week where they should have called an icing, but then they didn't. And then he let it go. Yeah, it was a few wacky goals recently, but that was a super fluky goal. But that was
tonight. Are you talking about Stutzla's goal? Was the weird one or
for the tonight's weird one? It was the first goal.
Oh,
the first one that
Gautier's goal.
Yeah, the one that popped like 20 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And
glitch in the Matrix,
Yeah, Murray didn't see it, and it just like flopped behind him. They had 19 shots in the first period, of which 9 chances were within 10 feet of the net.
That's boy,
rough. That's rough defensively for the Leafs.
Those are some stats right there.
Like, they generated 1.85 expected goals within the first period alone. By the halfway point, they generated 2.57 and had like something like 32 shots. we were very lucky to be leading most of this game, and that's almost entirely on Murray. And he let in 4 goals, and we're not really going to be complaining about him, I think, too much, because like, what else is he supposed to do? I think he considering context, played a fantastic game. Like, I have no issues with the way he played. So yeah, I'm just glad that he got a good game in there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Fouad?
I would say so. I think that I think Samsonov probably earned it just based on the length of the season, like the body of work. But part of me with Matt Murray is because like we all love stories, and I think him, like, let's just say in a great, like, him going and making a run with the Leafs in the playoffs would probably be the better story. Like, he was 2-time Stanley Cup champ by the time he was still a rookie, and then he's had so many injuries. People basically saying he's washed, and he can't be washed because he's the same age as me, and that would make me feel old. But
that would make you washed too.
I'm getting to that age.
Buddy, we're past our prime now.
It's getting scary. But
tell me about it.
To have somebody who's like, people are just calling like made of glass every time he pulls something in a practice. They're like, oh, he's made of glass, he's done. To have someone like that win would be a great story. But I think the best story is the Leafs. Whatever they do to win will be the best story. So yeah, we got to say, Mitch Marner, before we go, Mitch Marner is on another planet right now. Cabby.
Another heater. Well, is he on planet McDavid, or is he in our
nobody's on that
galaxy? And then McDavid is somewhere in the universe, like friggin' Thanos. He's got all the infinity rings, and he's just in the playoffs. He's about to do this.
I would be. If I wanted to get clicks and get people to hate watch me, I would say, yeah, of course, Mitch Marner is better than McDavid. But clip that, make that a TikTok, and we're gonna blow up. But no,
I mean, that'd be the most homer take there is.
There is nobody that's near Connor McDavid's planet. However, Mitch Marner is the best player on the Leafs right now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mitchie's been awesome. Mitchie's had I want to say 2 legit heaters. Well, obviously, the one was it 25 games with a point or an assist?
20, yeah.
Or 26?
I think it was 23 or 24.
Was it 23? And then he had another one that was like 14 or 15 games with a point or an assist. Yeah, Mitchie's been amazing this year. I love watching that kid. He's a magician. That goal against, it was last Saturday. Was it last Saturday? Against Buffalo, right? That gets the puck just like 7 moves in basically a phone booth. If anybody knows what a phone booth is these days, I know it's such a dated reference.
I think I've seen one before.
Yeah. Say that again. You've seen?
I've seen a phone booth once, I think.
I've never seen a phone booth. I've seen it in Doctor Who. That's it.
Nice. Like he was in the back of a Kia or a Toyota Prius, making 7 moves, and just just a gorgeous game. Yeah, salute to Mitchie. He's been awesome, and I can't wait to see him kill it in the playoffs.
Yeah, he used to just be
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to just be like a playmaker, and everyone kind of ragged on him like, 25 goals only, and you want that money? But like, he's pulling up like Austin Matthews type shots on when he has space, and that's something we've been wanting to see from him for years. And I said this last show, but like, what a glow up it's been with his relationship with Toronto. Like, from going to overpaid Mitch to probably underpaid Mitch at this point.
Yeah, by the time his contract's over, people might be like, man, we got a deal on the Mitch Marner contract. If he strings together a couple 100-point seasons, maybe 3, and he's competing. I mean, listen, as long as Connor McDavid is in his prime and injury-free, we basically just write his name on the Hart Trophy ballot.
You should. Yeah, you should. It's Michael Jordan in the 90s. It's like, don't even look at him.
And you know what the crazy thing is? I think Wayne Gretzky won 7 or 8
straight I think.
Hart trophies. Like, that is just
and
bonkers.
He deserved them all, I guess.
Of course he did. Yeah, the guy was
I think he probably deserved it on the 9th one too, but they just didn't they didn't want to do it again.
I think Mario got 1 or 2 of those in that stretch. So maybe like it prevented Gretzky from winning 8 in a row, or maybe that 8th. I think Mario's got 1, 2 or 3, I think. But yeah, like Connor McDavid's in God mode, and it's been amazing to watch him. I hope he Oh no, it was early tonight. Oh yeah, he had 58 now. He scored earlier tonight today against Seattle. I want him to get to 60. I want him to get to 65. Like push for we have 12, 14 games left. Like it's conceivable that he can break 60. Can he get to like OV territory, 65, like get into that range? It would be amazing to see.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's probably getting to 60. I don't know how many games are left, like 12?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's at 58. So yeah. He's definitely getting 60.
So we saw that I was just score checking. I was just trying to check the score, and because I saw that Tampa Bay was losing to Montreal, and lo and behold, Montreal lets us all down like they usually do, and they did not beat them. So Tampa Bay is still within a game and a half, or a game and a loser point.
3 points.
Basically, a game and a loser point away from catching the Leafs for home ice advantage. Which honestly, I think that is the series right there. I think that if the Leafs want to win that series, I think they got to have home ice. I think they have a great chance to win it, but I think they got to have that home ice. They cannot give an inch to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with how we've been playing at home, especially like we said this on the last broadcast, Samsonov is 18-2-2 at home. Like home ice, I think means something. Like, I don't know what it is about Samsonov, but he's
with those kind of numbers.
Killer.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's the good food at the Scotiabank Arena. It's the good media food, I guess. That's
there was a stretch when Tampa lost, 5 in a row, and goodness, the coach's name escapes me.
John Cooper.
John Cooper.
Yeah.
That his top line, Kucherov, Stamkos, and was it Braden Point for like the third period? I was like, wow, these guys are. It's like a mid-season funk, and it was only like 2 weeks ago, and then boom, Tampa's back. They've won 5 of the last 7, and it's just like, oh, that was just a little blip. Now we're back to. I mean, they need to dominate the terrible teams like Montreal, who's trying to get Connor Bedard, but still, like they're right on Toronto's heels. And to your point, Toronto needs home ice in that first round for a legit chance.
It's so important. Yeah, it's so important.
Escape. Yeah.
Tampa Bay it's one of those teams in sports. Like they are like what the Spurs used to be. They're like what the Patriots used to be. Like people are like, are they dead? And then it's like, they are like cockroaches and Twinkies. Like they cannot be killed. Like it's like, no matter what happens. So now what we count on with the Leafs and what I've been trying to rationalize as a Leaf fan, it's like, what the Leafs should count on is the limitations of the human body, because they have played an insane amount of hockey in the last 3 years, like more hockey than anybody's ever played in a 3-year span, almost 4 seasons worth. So at some point, you'd hope that the younger legs will prevail.
Yeah, but 3 straight finals for the
that could just be copium. But
well, I mean, we'll see come playoff time. I'm not going to be surprised if they look fresh. It's Tampa Bay. You can't ever count them out.
No, they are. Yeah, Okay, well, everybody, we have a shorter show today. I think we touched on everything. The most important point being the Leafs won. So there you go. I mean, we could have just said that. But I want to thank our great guest, Cabby Richards, for being on the show with us for the second time. The second 2-time guest. The other one was a former coworker of yours, Mr. Arda Ocal.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Arda's killing it.
We're gonna keep a tally of how many times we've had. We're gonna try and have a winner, a leaderboard of how many times. Yeah. So but no, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to be on the show with us today.
Thank you, Fouad, and thank you, Armaan. Thank you, producer Rob. I appreciate this. Hey, congratulations to your Leafs tonight, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And ladies watching as well.
All right, everybody. Well, again, everybody, from Game Over Toronto, my name is Fouad Suleiman. You can find me at Fouad_sports.
My name is Armaan Punthiki. You can find me at Armaan Punthiki on Twitter.
My name is Cabby Richards. You can find me at Cabby on Twitter and The Real Cabby on IG.
Let's go, everybody. All right, everybody, enjoy your Saturday night. The Leafs have won. So, yeah, the Leafs have won. That's all that matters.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.